Hi friends, I am Hanujandran. Welcome to a new video of V for Civil. Today, we'll be discussing about solving the number series problems in a systematic manner. I'll also give you an idea on how the toppers or the successful candidates solve these questions in less time. So without wasting the time, let's move on to the video. So talking about the number series problems, it is an integral part of any exam that has reasoning as syllabus. So it is very important for you to know how to solve these questions correctly and in the limited time. In the course of this video, I'll help you identify the problem and help you find the solution through a set of steps that can be applied to any problem. So first of all, let's see what are the different types of number series problems. Here you have addition series, subtraction series, multiplication series, division series, repetitive ones, squares and cubes, and combination. The first step to solve the problem is to identify the type of series it belongs to. So I'll explain how it can be done with the help of some examples. So right here I'm starting with a very simple example. In the screen you can see the question. Find the next term in the series 3, 8, 13, 18. So whenever you get a question, the first thing that you have to do is to check whether the series is increasing or decreasing. Means whether the numbers or the subsequent numbers are increasing or decreasing. If you look at the series, you can see that 3, 8, 13, 18, the numbers are increasing. So once you know whether it's increasing or decreasing, the next step to do is to analyze the trend. That means the degree of increase, means how much the increase is happening with the successive terms. So after understanding the trend of increase or decrease, we can conclude whether it's addition series, subtraction series, multiplication or whatsoever. I'll explain all these in the coming slides. So after analyzing the trend, you can see whether it's gradually increasing or it's constantly increasing, or if it is rapidly increasing, or there is some inconsistency in the increase. So depending on whether it's gradual, rapid or inconsistent, we can conclude which type of series this belongs to. And all of these will be explained in the coming slides. So coming back to this particular question, if you look at the numbers 3, 8, 13, 18, they differ by a number of 5. So with each term, 5 is added to get the next term. That is the pattern for this question. It is relatively a very simple question and it can be answered with just a glance. So in order to get the answer, we add 5 to 18 and we get the answer as 23. Now let's move on to the next question. Find the next term in the series 2, 7, 17, 29, 41. So first thing what you have to do, we can see that the numbers are increasing in nature. But you cannot compare this with the normal number series problems. And that's why I have included this question in the first portion of the video. This question in particular belongs to a different set, means it belongs to something called prime number series. So for solving this question, we need to know what are the prime numbers that lies between 1 and 100. As you can see in the screen, I have listed all the prime numbers that lies in between 1 and 100, and there are 25 of them. So if you have this prime number series in your mind and if you look at the question, you must get a glimpse that yes, this belongs to the prime numbers. So you can see that each and every number in the series is coming on the prime number series. Now let's find out the pattern followed by these numbers. I have colored these numbers in the series so that you can identify these numbers easily. So if you look at that portion, you can see that after 2, they have skipped 2 numbers 3 and 5 to get the 7, and 7 is the second number of the series. Again they are skipping 2 numbers 11 and 13 to get the next term of the series. Again they are skipping 2 numbers to get 29. Again they are skipping 2 numbers to get 41. So finally coming to our answer, we have to skip 2 numbers after 41 to get our answer as 53. So the question becomes very easy if you know the prime numbers that are lying between 1 and 100. And if you don't know this, or if you're not aware of this, you will not answer the question. So everybody make a note of this series. So let's move on to the next question. Here you have a series 3, 6, 12, 24, 48. So first step is to check whether it's increasing or decreasing. As you can see, the numbers are in the increasing order. 3, 6, 12, 24 is going on increasing. And now we have to analyze the trend of increase, how much the increase is happening. I have colored in orange the difference between the successive numbers, means from 3 to 6 it's 3, 6 to 12 it's 6, 12 to 24 it's 12, 24 to 48 it's 24. So the numbers are also, the variation is also increasing. That means it is a rapidly increasing variation. And thus, since it is a rapidly increasing variation, we can have two conclusions, that is whether it's a multiplication series or it belongs to squares or cubes. So if you observe the series, you can understand that each term in the series is obtained by multiplying 2 with the previous number. We can see how it is done. Here you have 3 into 2 gives 6, 6 into 2 gives 12, 12 into 2 gives 24, similarly 48, and in order to get the answer we have to multiply 2 with 48, and so we get 96 as the answer. Now we have the next question. We have find the next term in the series 1, 9, 36, 100, 225. Just by looking at the question, you can understand that all of these numbers are perfect squares. So coming to our methodology, the terms are increasing and also the increase is rapid, so it can be square or multiplication. And also keep in mind, all these methods like checking whether it's increasing or analyzing the trend, everything is to be done only during the practice of the question. I don't expect you to do all these in the exam hall. In the exam hall, all of these thought process should happen within split of a second. And then only you will become a successful candidate. So coming back to the question, for doing this question, we need to know the squares of numbers, and I recommend you people to learn the squares of all numbers from 1 to 30 for doing the questions easily. I've displayed all the squares from 1 to 30 in the screen. If you want, you can take the screenshot and save it for later studies. So this question can be easily solved if you have the squares in mind. So let's solve it. In the screen, I have colored the squares which are related to this particular question. So if you look at the screen, you can understand that between 1 and 9, to be specific, between 1 square and 3 square, one term is skipped, that is 2. So similarly, between 3 square and 6 square, 2 terms are skipped. And between 6 square and 10 square, 3 terms are skipped. Between 10 and 15, 4 terms are skipped. And finally, you can get the answer by skipping 5 terms after 15. That is, the square of 21 will be the answer, and this answer is 441. So if you have a clear-cut idea of the squares, or if you exactly know the squares of the numbers, then you can simply solve it even with the help of your fingers, because it takes no time, and there is no calculation involved in this. And if you don't know the squares, then you have to sit there and multiply and find the squares, and that means you lose a lot of time. You know, all these are just basic things, but the time to recall these things in examination does matter, and that's where this comes in handy. So let us take the next question. Here we have 6, 18, 38, 66. And as always, you can see the number is increasing and it's also rapidly increasing. I'll give you a clue, it's related to the square series itself. You can just try to do it. Okay, I've colored the numbers that are related to the series, and the first term in the series 6 is obtained by adding 2 to the square of 2. Similarly, the second term of the series 18 is obtained by adding 2 to the square of 4. So they are skipping one number, or they are choosing alternative numbers in the series. Okay, So coming to the third number, they have chosen 6 square and they have added 2 to 6 square to get 38. Similarly, 66 is obtained by adding 2 to 8 square. So for getting the answer, we need to add 2 to 10 square. That means 10 square plus 2 will give 102. Again, like the previous question, we don't have much calculation here. This is relatively simple compared to the previous one also. And now here you have the next series. It's 2, 10, 30, 68. And you can see that the variation is very rapid and even larger than the one we did for squares. And thus we can conclude that this belongs to cube series. So for doing the cube series, the minimum requirement is that we need to know the cubes of numbers precisely between 1 to 20. But at least you have to know the cubes till 10. The cube of the numbers till 10 is to be thoroughly known. I have displayed the values on the screen. It would be better if you take a screenshot of it and keep. So coming back to our question, we can see that the terms in the series are related to the cubes. I have colored the cubical terms that are to be used in the right side of the screen. So if you observe the series, you can understand that the series follows a pattern, and that pattern is n cube plus n. I'll explain to you in some simple steps. So let's look at the first term. So the first term 2 is obtained by adding 1 cube plus 1. Okay, the first term is 1 and we are adding the 1 cube plus 1 to get the first term as 2. Now the second term, it's 2 cube plus 2. To the third term, it's 3 cube plus 3, and that's why I told this is following a pattern n cube plus n. So we have to get the fifth term and we do 5 cube plus 5 to get 130, and 130 is the answer of this question. So if you have the cubes in mind, just by looking at the question you can get a relation between the series and the cubes of term, and that way you can save a lot of time. And as I always say, this is what the toppers do. Just by looking at the question they can identify the type of question and they'll solve it likewise. So if you want to be a topper or if you want to be among the top students, you also have to know all these things. And also keep in mind, if you're writing SSC JE examination, you have to score more marks than around 6 lakh people, because there are around 6.5 lakh applications for SSC JE exam this year. And also the number of people qualifying the first tier will be around 20 to 30,000 depending on the number of vacancies. So you have to be in the top, then only you'll get the job. We can move on to the next question. Here you have 65, 513, 1729 and 4097. The problem with this question is that once you start seeing bigger numbers like 1729 and 4097, you'll start thinking whether you'll be able to do the question, because whether it consumes a lot of time or not. So you will even think of skipping the question at that time. But as I said, if you know the cubes of numbers, this can be solved within just 5 seconds. You don't have to think much if you know the cubes of the term. So if you just look at the right side, you can see the cubes and just try solving it. It's so simple. Here you can see that you're just adding 1 to the cubes, and these numbers are also following a small pattern. And I think that now the things are clear. You can see that the first term 65 is obtained by adding 1 to the cube of 4. The second term is obtained by adding 1 to the cube of 8. And the pattern is going like that. They're chosen 4, 8, 12, 16 likewise. So if you see the steps, it's clear on the screen. 4097 is obtained by adding 16 cube plus 1. So finally, to get the answer, we need to add 1 to the cube of 20. That will give the answer as 8001. And as I've said, this question becomes so simple if you know the cubes properly. So better have an idea about this. So let's check the next question. We have 1, 3, 6, 8, 16 and 18, and we need to find the next term. So you can see the series is increasing. That's the basic idea. And there's a problem with this series because the increase is irregular. So you can see 1 to 3 it has increased, 3 to 6 it has increased by 3, and 6 to 8 it has increased but it's only by 2. So the variation is irregular, and thus we can understand that it belongs to some kind of repetitive series. So if you closely observe that, you can see that it is following a pattern, and the pattern is just simple. You're just adding 2 to the number and multiplying 2 to the next number. Likewise, you are adding 2 and multiplying 2, and this is going on repeating, and that is the peculiarity with this series, and that's why it's called a repetitive series. You're just adding one number and multiplying, adding, multiplying. So to get the second term 3, we are adding 2 to the first term. To get the third term 6, we are multiplying 2 to 3. For getting the next term, we are adding 2, thus we get 8. To get the next term, we are multiplying 2, so we get 16. So likewise, for getting the final answer, what you have to do is that we have to multiply 2 to 18, and we get 36 as the answer. So I'm winding up the video here, and through this video I've given you a basic idea on how to approach this kind of problems and how to solve them with less time. And if you like the video, you can press the like button. Your comments are invited in the comment section. Also, please don't forget to press the subscribe button. Also press the bell icon for getting notifications. So thank you and have a nice day.